Alright, before I begin the lesson, I want to go over a couple of housekeeping rules. I always like to start off with some reminders. The first one is no one leaves my room unless an official pass is given to the substitute. Also, if someone comes in late, I expect an official pass from the student that comes in late, given to the substitute. Number 2, no one in my closet nor at my desk. Number 3, please throw away your trash. Number 4, every class, please make sure that you place the calculators at the corner of your desk on top of your number. Number 4, please make sure you sit in your assigned seats. No excuses, please. This makes it easier for the substitute or whomever is checking roll to just go straight down the rows and see everyone in it or not in it. Please make sure you are sitting in your assigned seats. I will be back probably by 4th or 5th period. I am not sure. But please make sure you are sitting in the appropriate seat. Next, please make sure your take-home pile projects, those that have projects in the take-home pile, make sure you throw them away or take them home with you. Do not throw them away in my classroom because I don't want that in there. Tomorrow is the last day before I will start deducting points from your average, so please make sure you throw it away. Next, someone in 3rd period, please make sure you turn off the projector when you leave because 4th period is my off period, and I do not want the projector running. Also, if in case I don't make it by 7th period, someone from 7th period, please make sure, let me spell please correctly, please make sure you turn off the projector when you are done. And lastly, I did receive a list of those that are meeting with Dr. Allen today. So let me make sure and go over that list. It says, please excuse the following students to report to the Jackson Center Tuesday, November 9th, 2015 for a meeting with Dr. Allen. They should be excused at 9:15 a.m. 9:15. That, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't have the schedule with me at the moment, that is probably a little bit before 2nd period, and then obviously going on into 3rd period. And if I'm not mistaken, the only person that I see on here that will affect it is going to be John Como, Chelsea, and that's it. John Como and Chelsea, those will be the students. John Como is in my 3rd period and Chelsea is in my 2nd period. So Chelsea at 9:15, you are excused to the Jackson Center so that you can meet with Dr. Allen. John, although you will probably be missing my class, you are still responsible for the notes because I will continue when I come back. So make sure you get the notes from someone or you go to my website and get those notes. All right, so let's continue. In front of my room, there is a music stand, and on that music stand is a packet. That is the packet that we will be working on probably for this week. And what I want you to do is I want at least someone from each row. So a person from each row, go ahead and grab the number of packets for your row. Again, please make sure you do this neatly because I don't like to come back to see a mess in my classroom. So make sure you grab the appropriate amount of packets that you need for your row and go ahead and give them out to your row. Now, today's pop quiz will be whatever we do in this packet. So please make sure that you write everything down that we go over. Again, I am grading it, so it needs to be in pencil. It needs to be in pencil. So while y'all are passing that out, I'm going to go ahead and pull up that document right quick. Okay, so I have the oblique triangles packet pulled up here. It looks something like this. So while you are still grabbing a pencil, sharpening your pencil, or getting this packet, please make sure that you have everything out, as well as your formulas. Please make sure you take out those formulas or have them somewhere because you are going to need them. Remember, if I am going too fast, please press pause. I think at this time almost everybody knows who the helpers are for each class period. So make sure that you just tell the person who's controlling my computer to pause it, and then you can continue with the notes. Or repeat it. Repeat the video or pause it. Now, whatever problem we get to, I expect you should definitely get to that problem. I do not want to hear anything that we didn't have enough time, there wasn't enough time for us to finish the videos. That's just excuses, because each video that I make is 15 minutes long. So if I have 3 videos for 15 times 3 is 45 minutes, and that's definitely less than a class period. So you should have time to do that, or at least to see all 3 videos. So let's start off with number 1. It says given A is equal to 50 meters, B is equal to 36 degrees, and C is equal to 86 degrees. Find little b, little c, and big A. I don't know if I mentioned this to you yesterday, but in this case, the mode that your calculator should be in is what? Degrees. That's right. For this 6 weeks, your mode will always have to be in degrees. Makes sense, because a triangle has 3 angles that add up to be what? 180 degrees. That's good. So make sure that your calculator first is in degree mode. If you do not remember, let me go ahead and get my calculator out here for you to see. Alright, here we go. We press the mode button. Scroll down to where it says radian, and then next to it is degree. So we want to move it over to the degree. Press enter, second, and mode, and we're good to go. Alright, so let's go back to number 1. And the way that I always like to start these kind of problems is in this form. I always like to have my A, my lowercase letters here, my B, and my C. And then I always like to have my capital letters here. A, B, and capital C. And I always like to fill in everything that's given to me. Little a is given to me, and that's 50 meters. Big B is given to me, and that's 36 degrees. Big C is given to me, and that is 86 degrees. And it says find little b, little c, and big A. Well, let's try to use some common sense. The first thing that you should get right off the bat is what? Okay, so for those of y'all that said big A, that's a good idea, because we know that 3 angles of a triangle add up to be 180 degrees. Well, if we know 2 of them, can we get the third one? Yes, we can. Because if we say 36 degrees plus 86 degrees, that is going to give us what? All right, that's going to give us 122. And then what do we do with that 122? We subtract it from 180. So we say 180 degrees minus 122 degrees. And that's going to give us what? Very good, 58 degrees. And that's going to equal angle A. So let's go up here and fill out angle A is equal to 58 degrees. That's one piece of info that we have found. All right, we still have to find little b and we have to find little c. So while you finish jotting that down, let's figure out, or actually let me state something. You always want to start with the law of sines. That's the first thing the first law you should always start off with. And if you don't remember what the law of sines is, let me go ahead and quickly type it. Okay, this is the law of sines. Sine of A over little a equals sine of B over little b equals sine of C over little c, or vice versa if you flip them. Same thing. Okay. So let's take a look at what we have. I'm going to go ahead and erase this part here. Again, you always want to start off with the law of sines. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, take a look at what pieces of information do you have. You have little a. Well, do you have big A? Yes, you do. So that means you can use this part right here. You can use sine of A over little a or little a over sine of A. You can use that. Well, let's look at the other piece of info that we have. We can use B or we can use C because that's the ones we are looking for. Those are the ones we are looking for. But that means that you also have to make sure that you have the capital letter, the angle of it. Do you have the angles of either one of those? Yes, you do. So you can use either the proportion that's equal to the B part or to the C part. In this case, let's just say the B part. So we are going to use this one. We are going to use A over sine of big A is equal to B over sine of big B. This is a proportion. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cross multiply both of these. So when I cross multiply these two, I get A sine of big B is equal to, when I cross multiply these two, I get little b sine of big A.